Guys, today we're going to use these tools to put this new scope on this rifle. Let's get into it. All right, so what we've got here is the Fat Wrench Firearm Accurizing Torque Pro Series Toolkit from Wheeler, and these guys sent this over for me to do a review on. I've taken it out of the box already, and so far I can say that I'm very impressed with all of the tools in here. Pretty much anything and everything you would need in terms of bits and torque driver and all that kind of stuff to do the very kind of thing that we're doing today, and that is just changing the scope out. Right now I've got this Arkin EP8 low power variable optics sitting on this rifle, and unfortunately I'm unable to do the review on this scope because I forgot to bring my trigger cam with me out to the range, and it's kind of pointless to try to do a review on this scope without being able to see through the scope, because the reticle is kind of the big deal about this optic and the clarity of the glass and all that kind of stuff. So what I am going to do is I'm going to get the Razor HD LHT 3 to 15 by 42 put onto this 223 rifle today, and we're going to get her zeroed up and stretched out a little bit. So let's get into it, tell you all about the tools here. Looks a lot very similar to the old Fat Wrench that I've been using for a long time, honestly, and clearly works roughly the same. Pull the bottom down to unlock it and then twist to wherever your torque settings are. It's going to be very similar. Going to be good. So this is all nice and rubberized though. Just looks and feels good. And then of course we've got, geez, all the bits we could possibly want. So first order of business is to get this scope off. So we're just going to find the proper Torx bit here. Looks like maybe this guy. They are all printed on the side of the bits with the sizes. That says 27, it's going to be smaller than that. Yep. So this is the T25, and that's going to be proper. Yep, there you go. So we've got our driver. Just pop it into the end. Just bust these guys loose. Set that guy aside. And we've got a set of the Vortex Pro Series rifle rings here. These are 30 millimeter, which is what I need for this scope. These are the highs. They might be a little too high, actually, but we're gonna go ahead and run with it. No, I'm sorry, these are mediums. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Go ahead and just get these snugged on here. Not gonna torque them yet. You guys on the GoPro, I just realized, are getting a super cool view of the tactical minivan over here. You can laugh all you want until I'm building a hide inside of that sucker and shooting out through the covered windows. You'll never see me coming. Yeah, because I do that, you know. Anyway, all right, let's bust out the scope. Grab the sunshade out because we're gonna want that. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, and it's so light. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys, so I'm not gonna make you watch me like level this all up. It's just a hassle. So I'm gonna pause the shots. I'm gonna get it leveled. We'll come back with a leveled scope. So let me pause on that. So I've got the Fat Wrench here set to 18 inch-pounds as best I can tell. It's just barely below the 20 line, which will be fine. And we're gonna offset these, kind of like when you change your lug nuts on your car and you kind of offset back and forth. I'm sure you guys know how to do this, but just telling you what I'm doing so you know I'm not a bonehead, at least completely. Click. Okay, and the rings need to be at 30 inch-pounds, so we're going to twist this guy up to 30. Or the bases, I'm sorry. If you number these 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the side, I like to go 1, 3, 2, and 4. Get that guy put away. Good to go. Man, what a great kit. You've got tiny little Torxes all the way down to T5. Looks like your standard Allen keys, short ones and long ones. These short ones are 050. Man, all the way up to these big fat boys. So you could definitely use it for something other than firearms. I've never seen anything that big on a firearm that I'm aware of anyway. Huge screwdrivers. You got square bits, Torx. You got punches, which is kind of nice. If you just need a punch to get a trigger out or something like that, you've got that in there. Got these drivers for you know, your various size of nuts. Some one-piece mounts have nuts on the sides. You've got all different kinds of those sizes. 8, 10, 12, 15 different sizes of that. I'll leave a link in the description below if you guys want to check out the Wheeler tool sets. I will just tell you right up front, because I'm not a shill for these companies, that if you use my link, I end up getting something like 5% back on the purchase. So it does help out the channel. Consider that. Wheeler makes some great kits. This is the professional fat wrench screwdriver set. Thank you guys, Wheeler, for sending that over. So now let's go ahead and see if we did our job correctly and get this thing on some steel out here. Let's talk about this rifle setup real quick, because I do need to shout out Ultradyne. So Ultradyne has been a company making muzzle brakes and other AR type parts for general enthusiasts and for 3-gun competitors for quite some years. They got into the precision rifle game recently. I actually don't know how recently, but they're making chassis. This is their short model. The 3 slots here for the M-LOK slots kind of delineates the length of their chassis. They've got a 3, they've got a 5, and they've got a 7. I've got a 7 in my possession as well that I'll be doing later on, in terms of like just setting it up for competition. But for this little short hunting type of a rifle setup, this one works perfectly. Lots of features that you like. You've got your ARCA milled into the bottom, so if you just want to shoot it off of a tripod, you can. Of course, you've got your M-LOK slots. You can add accessories. You could add weights if you need to balance your rifle a little bit more. You can add any kind of AR style buffer tube onto the back of here. It's fairly standard and stock configuration, although their buttstock that they sell works quite well. You know, you've got length of pull adjustability by taking the cheek piece out, and then you can actually rotate the entire not cheek piece, but the stock here around the butt tube. That the buffer tube is actually threaded itself, and you can screw it out or in to get your length of pull. Your cheek piece, of course, is adjustable. You just got a screw back here on the back. You can raise and lower that. So pretty good. I went ahead and added one of these these little push button quick disconnects in between, which was actually a mistake, and I don't recommend it because there's actually enough play in there. It's designed for an AR, right? There's actually just a little bit too much play in there that I don't like seeing through my reticle when it comes to a precision rifle. I like everything to be locked down solid and really, you know, just tight. And that gives just a little bit too much play. I thought it would be cool. It's kind of a fail. So I don't recommend that. Just stick with what they give you and you're good to go. I've got the vertical grip from MK Machining here. I've got a Trigger Tech. It's not a diamond, it's just their standard trigger here, adjusted down to about 1.5 pounds, which I think is the lowest setting that Trigger Tech, that base level Trigger Tech goes down to. The barreled action, the action is actually Remington 700. SPS is what it started out, just 223. That was I believe an 18-inch barrel, and it came in like those Hogue overmolded rubber stocks. Well, I had it changed out to a nicer barrel, had this spun up by Hunt's Long Range. This is now in 223 Wild, cut at 16 inches. I've got one of these blast deflectors up on the front, just to reduce some of that kind of concussive impact back at the shooter. I know it's only a 223, but the older I get, the worse that pounding gets in my head. So we've got the spigot mount put on the front here so that I can run the Atlas bipod a little bit further forward. I like that. And as you saw in this video, we just put the Vortex Razor HD LHT 3-15x42 up on top. And I'm using the Vortex Pro rings. It's got everything torqued down. Glass looks good. Rifle feels good. I'm hitting targets. It's fun, just fun, right? And that's kind of the reason you build a rifle like this. You know, this could be used for hunting, whitetail and on down, with the right bullets, of course, for whitetail with a 223. But you know, varmint gun, whatever you might want it for. You know, throw a suppressor up on front, you got a nice kind of compact short package, and you can run with it. And so I don't know, I'm pleased with the Ultradyne chassis. Really something to look into, guys. If you want to check them out, you can use the link in the description to check out Ultradyne and the chassis options that they have. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thumbs up, please, and stay tuned for more great videos from Precision Rifle Network.